Oh yeah, it's time for us to bring the damage to the woo. Welcome back to 108 Heroes Reformers, and today we will be attempting to take our town, or our very first town, and potentially lay claim to it at the same time. I think that could be a pretty fantastic idea. I don't know what you think, but maybe you also agree with me about that, because if we are able to get a town, then we're going to be in the money, so to speak. We'll hopefully be able to be in the money a little bit more than we currently are, because obviously I do have a village. It actually just got raided, like, I don't know, a couple of moments ago, so that's not that's not particularly nice, is it? But anyway, the point is that we do have a village, and we also have a castle, which is decent. You know, I wouldn't say that that's particularly bad. You know, it's not a bad thing by any means, and I am surely not ungrateful for what our liege has given to us. But I think it might make sense for us to have a bit of a town under our command. I think we would be very good lords of a town. I think that would probably make the most sense, because let's face it, we are the general that is doing everything right now. We are absolutely murdering everything in sight. We are actually taking castles by ourselves, while we are significantly outnumbered. And I don't see any other vassals doing that. Do you? I don't see any other vassals doing that, so I'm going to say, yeah, we're probably the best vassal that we have in our faction. Yes. Am I overestimating my worth here? Maybe I am, but I am bringing together one of the strongest armies that anyone will ever know, and that's exactly the point. That's exactly what we're trying to do here, and as I say, we are going to continue doing that, and we'll see just how many extremely strong units we can acquire in our time here, because from what I know, which is not very much, but from what I know, I think that would be a pretty awesome plan. So we're going to try and see whether that can actually even work, because I don't know whether it's actually going to work. Maybe it will just be one of those things that I will, you know, try to do, but in the end it just won't work because of some reason or another, you know. But I'm really going to try and do it, because I think it is a fantastic idea. It's going to be one of those things that I'm really, really excited about as well. So anyway, yeah, this guy only had about 40 units, really nothing to worry about there. I'm actually going to be letting him go again. He doesn't like me letting him go. He's actually one of those personalities that likes it when I do nothing, basically. So, you know, he's just going to be grumpy no matter what I do about it. So we're just going to let him go, and I will be now heading on over to the nearby town. Alright, so we're almost ready to go in here. I actually was able to build my ladders so extremely quickly thanks to Liyun, but obviously I wanted to wait until daytime because, well, I wanted my archers to be as effective as possible, and usually if you're in nighttime, sometimes you do get a bit of a deficiency in your archery skills, and sometimes that happens in mods, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends. I think native also has that kind of thing happening, and because this mod does not have, you know, battle camera or diplomacy or anything like that, I assume it is also in this mod. So during nighttime it's not the best for you to go in if you have a primarily archer army, which we of course do. So I'm being a bit cautious in that regard and making sure that we are in the best possible position to win the day, because that's what we got to do here. We got to win the day. If we don't win the day here, then we are not going to be able to get ownership over this particular town. And let's face it, we want to do that. We want to do that super badly, because if we can get ownership over this town, it will be one of the greatest things ever, because it's actually reasonably close by to one of my castles. And, well, my only castle, shall we say. Yes. Yeah, kind of sad that I only have one castle, but, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. The point is that we are bringing death and destruction to our enemies, and it will be a glorious victory for us, even though we are considerably outnumbering them. I mean, that's just how it is, you know. That's just how it is. They decided to leave a garrison here. It's not my problem that there are, you know, not that many defenders. But anyway, there you go. We actually just had 0 casualties. Pretty awesome. I can't take any prisoners here. I don't really want to take any loot either, thank you very much. I am going to be requesting that this be awarded to me. I have not requested something since our very first castle. So I'm going to assume that we will get this awarded to us. I hope. I mean, I'm just assuming, but anything can happen, really. Anything can happen. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to be selling some of these lower tier horses, and we're going to be putting some of these guys down here, and we're hopefully going to be in a good position there. There we go. All right, so that's pretty nice. I might buy some grapes just for a little bit of extra variety, and we're going to go into the tavern here just in case there's a companion that is worth recruiting. There's a ransom broker, which is actually pretty good, and I'm happy to see one here. So we can actually sell our various units, and these guys don't actually even sell for that much, but I suppose it's okay, because getting a good amount of cash for doing basically nothing, you know, basically we're getting these prisoners as just a bonus to what we're attempting to do. So our objective is just giving us a small little bit of gravy on top, you know, so it's pretty good. Anyway, let's go up here, see if there's anyone. Nope, no, there isn't anyone. Okay, so we are just going to wait here for some time. There might be a couple of people that want to attack my patrol, so I do need to be a bit cautious of that. I need to watch out and make sure they don't get attacked. So it's time for another duel, but this time we are up against a Chu vassal that was attempting to take the town. Yes, things can get very, very dramatic when you are, well, when your faction, shall we say, when your faction is at war against so many different enemies. It is, it's kind of a bit tricky, you know, it's kind of a bit tricky. Thankfully, this guy is using one of those polearms that I actually think is probably one of the worst weapons in the game. I don't know whether that's just me. I might be insulting an incredibly good weapon, and maybe, you know, that's just how it is. Like, I remember a long time ago, probably like years ago, when I used to play Dota 2, right? I used to play Dota 2, and I was playing with a friend of mine, and we would play a game, you know, we'd play a match, and I would be trying out some character, he'd be trying out a character, and then I'd be like, oh wow, this hero is really bad, or I'm just not very good at it, or whatever, you know, sort of thing. And then it turns out that hero is probably one of the strongest in the game. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'm saying, oh, this guy really sucks, or something like that. But in actuality, the hero was fantastic and really strong in the right hands. And it just so happens that those hands were not mine. But that's kind of what I'm saying about that weapon as well. It's probably a similar thing where that weapon is probably fantastic in the right hands, but in my hands, it's probably one of the worst weapons of all time. So I should probably be a bit more careful about what I say when it comes to evaluating certain weapons and equipment and things like that, because, you know, otherwise we're going to get another Dota 2 situation on our hands, and that's not good for anyone, because, you know, it just kind of says everything you need to know. It's just kind of like terrible. So, you know, definitely something that I need to be a bit more aware of in future, because let's face it, maybe that weapon's going to be fantastic for you, maybe it's going to be fantastic for someone else, but for me it's just, it's really not good. It's not a good look on me, not whatsoever, because I don't even know why, to be honest, because it's just a standard polearm, but I find that it is, I really don't want to say useless. I really don't want to say useless, because that's kind of harsh, and you know, it's pretty disrespectful. You know, it's pretty disrespectful towards the weapon itself, because I'm sure it's pretty historically accurate as well, but I don't know. I'm just not very good with it, so I guess that's just all it is. I guess it's just a matter of, you know, really just not being very good with that particular weapon. But, you know, I kind of like all weapons to be viable in some way, and it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just grinding my gears a little bit that I kind of suck with it, you know. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, it's probably also because I can't do the mind readings, you know, those mind readings that we've done in the past, where I have attempted to do a Han vassal, and they're mind reading, and I just can't do it because the guy has one of the worst weapons, or shall we say, one of the worst weapons for me that I've ever done in one of those mind reading scenarios. So I think that's more than likely the reason why I have a bit of a bias against it. But, well, you know. Let me know, by the way. Let me know if you, or if you know someone else that is really good with that spear. I think it's a spear of some kind. I don't know what it's called specifically, but the Han vassals, you've seen them use it, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, let me know if you know, someone you know, or you yourself are actually really good with it, because, you know, tell me, how are you good with it? I have no idea. I don't know. I guess it would be really good against cavalry, but not much else, I guess. I mean, maybe if you're on a horse and you try to use it like that. I mean, I don't think you can couch lance with them, which is a bit of a weird thing. I guess, you know, some spears you just can't, you know, you just can't couch lance with them because they're not designed for that. But, you know, it's one of those things where I guess we're just never gonna get an answer from it, really. And it's kind of making me a bit sad, to be honest, because I'd like to be able to complete every single mind reading. But as we have learned in the past, in the recent past, the mod is not actually done. The mod is not done. The mind reading quest does not actually have an end just yet, because not all of the not all heroes actually have a scenario yet. So obviously that's going to be implemented later down the line, and I'm really looking forward to that, because let's face it, this is probably one of my favorite mods, because it is just so unique. You know, I have not really encountered any other mods that are doing this whole legendary weapons, you know, leveling up the legendary weapons and, you know, changing significant things about the gameplay ever before. And that's the thing, I shouldn't really say that either, because there are so many different mods and so many different kinds of mods that are available. And I should say, like, for example, mods like Blood for Land and Blood and Steel, and for some reason they always have blood in the name. But anyway, the point is that those mods as well, they also add significant changes to the gameplay. Like, for example, Blood and Steel is this whole Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, where you play as you can choose a variety of different classes. You can play as a barbarian, you can play as a mercenary archer, you can play as a bandit, you know, you can play as all kinds of different things. And I have series on that as well if you're interested. But the point is that that is a really cool way to change the gameplay, and that's exactly what 108 Heroes does as well, but in a very different fashion. They concentrate much more on equipment and on history and all that sort of thing, rather than just being, you know, completely outlandish and crazy with all their choices and things. Because obviously Blood and Steel is a very, very crazy mod in many ways. But there you go. We actually did get 2 companions to level up. They have now ranked up, should I say. And Lu Tang, should I say, not Li Yun. Lu Tang has gained a little bit of intelligence. And Shimen Ching has also gained a level as well, which is pretty nice. Alright, so I'm just going to take these guys, and we're going to sell them to a nearby ransom broker. If the guy is still in the tavern, that would be pretty fun. Eagle Steel Shield, not going to be taking that, thank you very much. And we got, oh yeah, we got some refined stone. That's exactly what we want, thank you very much for that. Okay, hello ransom broker, take all of these guys from me, and give me all that sweet, sweet cash. Yes, there we go. Fantastic. That's very nice indeed. Alright, so we can now just wait here for some time, and we'll see whether the liege decides to give us something. Ooh, we have a bit of a dramatic situation. Ooh, hello, yeah. I ran over here, as you can see, I ran over here from all the way over there at the town to see what's actually going on, and apparently there is a huge contingent of Shah vassals attempting to take my castle. And I'm not very pleased about this, as you might imagine, so we're going to do our very best to defend our castle. Now, here's the funny thing. These guys are not actually willing to do anything about... Oh! These guys are all running away? Are you serious right now? Okay, you know what? We're going to go into the siege lines right... Oh, they're actually... Okay, they're actually joining the battle. Some of them are actually joining the battle still, even though they are on the outside of the walls. But this is going to be pretty interesting because from what I can tell, there were a number of them that were actually running away because there was a massive amount of our allies coming close, and they wanted, well, they wanted to escape, obviously. They wanted to escape their wrath, but we will not allow them to do so. So I will get in position, and whoa, he already got murdered. The one guy already got murdered. That is pretty crazy how fast that happened. Anyway, we're just going to take out these guys. These are Shah. We actually have not fought the Shah yet. So this is kind of interesting because I have not seen any of their equipment. I don't know what their heroes are capable of. I have no idea about them. So this is going to be interesting to find out exactly what their strengths are. And by the looks of things, they seem to have some pretty decent armor. They seem to be kind of like a barbarian kind of thing going on here, because they do have two-handeds. They seem to use two-handed weapons, primarily, and they seem to use pretty light armor. I mean, you can see that. They seem to use... I'm not entirely sure what material that is. It's like a kind of plate, but it's not plate, you know what I mean? It's kind of like something like that, but not that. So it's kind of like chainmail combined with plate a little bit? Well, whatever the case, they are falling before us reasonably fast, and I would say that they're probably falling before us even quicker than the Wu do. And that's kind of, well, eyebrow raising, I suppose you could say, because the Wu usually die relatively quickly, but yeah, it seems like they are actually look at this, they're actually getting up here and doing some damage to us. So I think the main point we have to take away from this is that the Shah seem to be very focused on offense, because they all come with these massive two-handed polearm things, or they come with some massive ringed sabers or something along those lines, and that is obviously making a big difference to how much damage they can do. But that's if they actually even get to us. One thing I should say about the Shah is that some of their units, and I'm talking about the Shah warriors here and maybe the Rattan armor guards or whatever they're called, those guys, they seem to really take a pretty significant amount of damage before they get taken out. So generally, they are going to be the ones that will kill most of one's units, and I have actually suffered a number of casualties here. As you can see, 7 deaths and also 15 deaths. So you can see that they're actually killing us much more than they are knocking us unconscious, which is actually kind of rare. Usually, because we have obviously a pretty decent surgeon, I think we have a pretty decent surgeon at the very least, you know, we're not going to really get that many casualties. But in this case, we actually lost 6 Sky Archer Masters, which in my opinion is unacceptable. I think that is absolutely awful, but that's just how it is. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen. These guys, what are these guys called again? The veteran Rattan armor guys. They have these massive polearm type things, and they're able to do a lot of damage before they go down, and they were able to kill a lot of my Sky Archer Masters, which is not very good at all. Anyway, let's see what these guys are going to give us here. This guy can go. Yeah, cursed be this day. Yeah, he's going to hunt me down, no doubt. This guy is okay as well. And we actually haven't even interacted with any of the Shah vassals, so I'm not entirely sure if they have any mind readings to be done. I think they do, but obviously at the moment I will not be able to do them because they are, well, kind of enemies at the moment. So yeah, that's not really going to work too well. Shah warriors? No, these guys are not the highest tier. What was I talking about there? I was saying Shah warriors. I saw a Shah warrior with some really heavy armor on. Ah, maybe I was looking at something else. Oh well, whatever the case, let's take some axe champions and so on and so forth. Oh, look at that. We got 2 refined stone from that. That's fantastic. That's really, really nice. So that means that our friends right here, they can go off and do whatever they want to do. As you can see, I got there just in time. 22 enemies remaining in the garrison there. And these guys are standing there now, doing something weird. Oh, hello. This is the fellow that can upgrade my weapons. Come back here, thank you. Alright, so, I want to reforge my weapon. 3rd grid. I believe it's the 3rd grid. Yes, that is correct. Oh, it has reached its top rank. No more upgrades available. Oh. Well, I'm actually kind of sad about that now. Well, let me take a look at Lu Tang's weapon then, because maybe I can upgrade that. Nope. Seems like he doesn't need me to upgrade it, so he upgrades that automatically. That's pretty fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So this is level 4. It has advanced. And whoa, okay, so it gained that extra ability down there. Capturing. There is a 6% chance to capture special troops on kill. I don't know what special troops mean, but that's very interesting to me indeed. I would like to be able to find out exactly what that means. So I'm going to continue fighting with it, and I suppose we'll find out. Maybe we're converting people to our side or something like that. Maybe we're making enemies into allies kind of thing. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever the case, we were able to prevent our people in our castle from dying, or at the very least from succumbing to the opponent. And I am now going to head over to the town once again, because I don't want that to be attacked, and all these guys are going to defend here. Oh, hello, there's a... Whoa, that's a very large vassal right there. Bit worrying about that, but I think our guys should be able to defend it reasonably well. And I suppose with that, I will be waiting here for some time and seeing whether the liege actually wants to award this... What? Actually wants to award this to me. Significant group of enemies near my castle, but it's no longer under siege. So that's pretty good. And I was told to go and report to the marshal, but I decided not to do that. Oh. Yes, I decided not to do that for a very important reason, because obviously I wanted to try and stay here and defend the town, which is now under siege by some Wu vassals. And in the next episode, we will deal with them. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.